homemade sangria. Delicious, refreshing. What a great way to start a party. Now, we make our sangria from scratch, from premium wine and fresh ingredients, the iPic way. So we actually have two different sangrias we're going to talk about right now, our white and our red. And we run our white sangria during the warmer months in the summertime, and get into the fall and the winter, we go to our red sangria. Really keep it seasonal and keep what people feel like drinking at different times of the year. So we're going to start with our white sangria. Now, this is available both single or also in our iPic shaker and in our restaurants in a pint bottle and also in a punch bowl. Really great, fun way to share. But let's talk about the shaker. So this is a batch cocktail, which is really perfect with sangria because sangria gets better after it's been combined and put in the refrigerator overnight. So really kind of an ideal thing to do. Those flavors just marry and get better and better and better. All right, so what we've done is we've taken our batch, and at some locations, this is literally on tap. We make this in a keg and we pull it right there at the bar, or we keep this in deli containers or in batch containers, but everything's in there. When you do pour this into your shaker, make sure that you shake that master container, whether it's a keg, those should be shaken in the morning and evenings, or if it's a container, because we're using lots of great fruit purees, and those sometimes can settle to the bottom. You want the guest to get consistency with every sip. You want to make sure all that good stuff is in there. Now the base of this is Chardonnay. Chardonnay, a beautiful white wine, apples and pears and beautiful roundness to it. It has a nice viscosity and kind of a luxury note to that grape, as well as the fruits we had, tangerine and passion fruit being the lead. And then we also put a little bit of Balsam Amaro. Now Balsam Amaro is a bittersweet liqueur, and this is bringing in spices, all kinds of what I call grandma spices, vanilla, cinnamon, cloves, star anise. There's some beautiful teas from Rare Tea Cellar in there as well. And what that does is adds all the spice into sangria. Now another way to make sangria can be to add all those spices, literally, but by using this Amaro that already has all those spices and complexity infused into it, it's that one kind of secret ingredient, secret to the sauce, that we add to our wine, our passion fruit puree, and our tangerine juice, which are both coming from Perfect Puree, great American purees, Perfect Puree of Napa Valley, great quality. There's a little bit of our ginger syrup as well, which brings in a little bit more of that spice. So that's everything that's in here. Now when I filled it, I'm filling it right to the top of the P here in my shaker. If I'm doing a shaker, the way I'm gonna make this for my guests is I'm gonna take a stemless martini glass, a stemless wine glass, and I'm gonna fill this completely with ice. All right, now if they're getting a shaker, then we're gonna garnish the stemless wine glass just like a finished single cocktail. So the guests would literally get their shaker, and then they would get their stemless wine glass with the fruit salsa, all that good stuff in it, and then they can go and more easily pour that for themselves in the theater. But they can also order a single one at the bar. They're both the same presentation, they're both the same sangria. So I'm just gonna kind of go over how to execute, since the hard work was really done earlier in the day when we combined the wine and the balsam and the tangerine and the passion fruit and from scratch, homemade, only iPic ginger syrup. All right, so now ice is in here, and again, if this was just going to guess who's bringing to the theater, our sangria salsa. Now our sangria salsa, look how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness. So we have red and green apples, we've got oranges, we've got lemon. Those are chopped in this tiny, tiny dice, because you want to have that texture that when the guest sips this, it's just going to slide down your throat, be all delicious. A little bit of toothsomeness to it, but really just be a mouthful of sangria. It's amazing fresh also. We toss a little bit of our fresh lemon sour mix in there. Just keeps it nice and fresh, kind of brightens it up. So generous with this, because part of sangria is that fruit. It's kind of your 5-a-day fruit there along with your imbibing. So I'm going to do 3 nice spoonfuls right on top. All right, now if the guest's going to the theater to prepare their shaker, again, we fill this to the top of the P, and we want them to get full value, so just a little bit of ice, literally about half a scoop. Now the sangria is already cold because we would have been keeping this either on tap or in a store and pour or in a deli in a refrigerator. The top of our shaker now goes right on, and now with that half scoop, it fills it completely. They've got a beautiful drink. And now, when the guest goes in the theater, they just pour their sangria right on top of that beautiful sauce. It's all gonna kind of mix in right there. And that is our white sangria. Now, if we had made it at the bar, literally ice, our sangria salsa on top, fill it with a batch, boom, we're done. Now that is our white sangria. Now our red sangria for the wintertime, a little bit richer. We're using a hearty red wine. We're using a bit of blood orange, predominantly coming from El Corazon puree. And we're again using the balsam amaro. Now that's really that secret sauce. It's that one ingredient that contains multiple spices and rare teas from rare tea cellars and all kinds of botanicals, bringing amazing flavor and complexity and great consistency to our sangria. We want the sangria to taste the same whether a guest is in Scottsdale or they're in North Miami Beach or they're in Redmond or any of our great locations. And that's one of the ways that we're able to have that consistency with high quality products like Perfect Puree of Napa Valley and high quality wines that we spec out. So important that you follow those recipes exactly, because so many of the recipes we do, it's really centered on those ingredients. You can't make great cocktails without great ingredients, and that's one of those consistencies that are so important to us and to our success. Now, the red sangria, a little bit more kind of fruit in there as well. We also are going to do a bit of cherry and berries in here as well. So we're going to take our glass, 1 scoop of ice first, and next, this is our strawberry salsa like we do in our Norma Jean. And we're going to do 2 nice spoonfuls of the strawberry salsa. And now we're going to do 3 of our homemade maraschino cherries in there. Beautiful. And now, our other scoop of ice. Now, if it's just going out in a shaker, the guest is going to get this. We're also going to give them a berry skewer, lots of fruit, because it's wintertime and sangria is that really kind of fun kind of party beverage, and you want to give them lots of fruit because it's kind of that winter blues, but God, you got a great sangria and look at all that fruit in it and you feel better about what you're enjoying. Now, for our berry skewers, we get fresh berries year round, flown into all of our locations. And so it's a bamboo skewer, and you have a blueberry, a raspberry, and a blueberry. Now it's very important, the blueberry, it is put right through its equator. Think about that top and bottom of the blueberry like a little planet. And right through the side, that skin is nice and tough, it's gonna hold on there. Our raspberry right through the side, so the little top in it is facing up. And then the next blueberry. That's gonna keep the raspberry from moving around, it's gonna keep this nice and fresh. You keep this right on your bar top in a stimulus martini glass, or in our restaurants in a still martini glass. Looks nice and fresh. It's something we have to prep a couple times a day, keep it nice and fresh, but it can help you sell those signature cocktails. So this skewer now is gonna go right across the top. Now, if the guest was just ordering this again for shaker, half a scoop of ice. All right, beautiful. Our top goes on there, and they would get their shaker, and whether it's 1 people, 2 people, 3, then they're gonna get the glass, all this beautiful fruit in there, and if they're ordering it just alone at the bar, we would be pouring this either from the tap if we are a location that has sangria on top. If not, it's going to be coming from a store and pour. Is a great efficient way because that keeps it cold right there in your well, or in a standard quart deli. Now that is the red sangria. There's beautiful cherries in there and berries, a little bit of blood orange from the El Corazon. Absolutely gorgeous. Touch of pomegranate as well. Again, coming from the El Corazon puree from Perfect Puree of Napa Valley. And that is our white sangria for the summertime, our red sangria for fall and winter, and available in a shaker. If you go to restaurants, then great way to have a punch bowl and enjoy that with your friends. And cheers. Wow, amazing, complex, refreshing, delicious. Something just kick back and relax. Enjoy selling these.